Hello, Mark from Teacharium here. Today we're going to look over the text-to-speech options within Teacharium. When you open up your lesson, you go to Lesson Settings here on the left. There's an Audio Settings option. Under that, you can pick your default voice, your speaking speed, and then you can generate a preview to see what that sounds like. Here's one.
Hello, this is a preview of your text-to-speech voice settings.
Once you pick the default voice that you want, you can save your settings and start editing your lesson. In Teacharium, all of the text controls that you can put on your step or within a question have an option called VoiceOver. If you choose Enabled, the system will automatically generate a voiceover for that text and save it. And after it's done, you can click this little button to preview it.
What is the capital of Sweden?
When learners are playing through the lesson, they'll see a small play button next to the text, and if they click it, they'll be able to hear that text.
What is the capital of Sweden?
That's how you can set up voice support on demand for learners. Let's take a look at another way. The voiceover component is a special invisible component. Learners won't actually see this. If I click it, you can see that it has an autoplay option, which is either enabled or disabled, and it also has a script. If autoplay is enabled, it'll automatically play when the step starts up. This is good for introductory messages to a step that you want just to automatically play. If it's set to manual, you'll need an action to trigger it. Now we have an action button here. And if I go into the options of the action button, I can see that I picked the play voiceover audio action, and it points to that manual one. Now when I preview this one, that first autoplay one is going to go right away.
This voiceover plays when you enter the step.
And then when I click the button, the manual one will play.
This is a manual voiceover.
And this is how you can create voiceovers that happen either automatically or in response to an action that the user does. Now we have a third way of using voiceovers, which is the instruction sequence. If I click that, I can see a list of instructions here. Each one of these has a script and a voiceover. And then it also has an autoplay option. What the instruction sequence does is that it displays the script on screen, it speaks through that script, and then it goes to the next instruction and the next instruction until it's finished. Now the instruction sequence also has a variable that it publishes telling us which step it's on. So it can be really useful to pair that with other controls. Here I have a slide deck, and what the slide deck does, it lets me have different slides. So here's slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, and it will display one of these at a time. If we look at the options for the slide deck, I can see that I can create additional slides here. Once I do that, I can just drag components into that slide like any other Teacharium component. By default, it has navigation buttons, but I've turned them off here. There's some transition effects and stuff like that. Now where this really becomes useful is down here there's a current slide variable. It's optional if you're letting the user navigate between the slides. But what we're going to do here is pick the current step index of our instruction sequence. What this is going to do is as our instruction sequence goes through its 3 instructions, the variable it has for telling us what step it is going to change from 1 to 2 to 3. And that's going to drive the slide deck to also change the slide from 1 to 2 to 3. Let's go see what that looks like.
This is the first instruction in our sequence. Notice how the text on the screen follows. The slide deck should follow this.
And as you saw, we had the instructions go across the top of the screen, and the slide deck followed it. Hopefully these 3 text-to-speech options will give you a lot of capabilities in your lessons.